Il est 16h.
Avec Orange, c'est 50 voyages tout frais payés pour le Maroc à gagner. Pour en profiter, souscris à Orange Bonus au dièse 111 étoile 1 dièse ou via l'application Max It. Orange est là.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
The Listeners Radio.
Royal FM
88.4 stereo.
Topics and realities. A 2-hour debate program on Royal FM.
Royal FM.
That is out to Israel and brainstorm on issues affecting our society with the aim of bringing change.
Topics and realities.
Every Saturday
on Royal FM.
Topics and realities.
A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
The gateway to change.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this first edition of Topics and Realities on Royal FM. It is that one program where we dive into the society and pick out those burning issues that you want to have more details about, bring it to the table and have panelists discuss about it. Topics and Realities comes up every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. only on 88.4 Royal FM. And today, just like every other Saturday, we are going to be having a discussion topic which will focus on issues that concern you, that concerns me, and concerns all of us as Cameroonians. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. The team that will be keeping you company this afternoon is Romuald Ekume, who is on the other side of the glass taking care of the technical console. Brian Bida and Boris Tedongmo are taking care of the cameras for our social media handles. Production assistance, we are getting it from Abel Bella Samari, with central coordination from our station manager Roger Kiek-Dekiki. And of course, general supervision is coming in from the Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel. My name is Mapalazita for presentation. Before we set the red carpet rolling for our panelists in the house, let's give honor to God Almighty, who is the author and finisher of life, with this beautiful piece of music.
Are you ready for me? Go! Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Oh, oh. Say! Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Are made possible. Oh, oh, Jesus, hallelujah. If you do nothing else for me, you are done enough. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema. You are done enough. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Listen, this your mercy, this your verse. Oh, Barubani Bino. This your love, this your goodness. Oh, Barubani Bino. Your finish to a Calvary. How you love me so. Daddy, if you do nothing else for me, you have done enough for. If you do nothing else for me. You have done enough. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema. You have done enough. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema. You have done enough. You have done enough. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema, oh, Mema. Oh, Mema, oh, Mema, you have done enough. Oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. You say, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Oh, Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Jesus, oh, Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma, oh, Mary Mumma. Okay, so we say, Jesus, you are good. You have done it all. You are good. Jesus, you are good. You have done it all. You are good. Jesus, you are good. You have done it all. You are good. Jesus, you are good. You have done it all. Jesus, you are good. Jesus, Jesus, you are good. Ije, You have done it all. 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 You have done it all.
This is definitely a jingle that does not lie. If you are a regular on Royal FM, then you know that we want to talk about the mutual assistance and solidarity, the MASO, which is in its 6th edition running already. MASO Act 6 is coming up this year, and you definitely do not want to miss it. So, are you registered? Are you following up with your contributions? Make sure you give your 100 francs every day, your 500 francs every week, your 2,000 francs a month, and make sure that you complete your 26,000 francs before the 30th of June, so that you will be part of the raffle draw. What is it that you want to request for? Is it a car? Is it household equipment? Is it to start up a business? Is it a machine? Is it your bed? Whatever it is that you need to take yourself out of the shackles of poverty, the mutual assistance and solidarity, the MASO, is here for you. And since today is Saturday, let me remind you some of the MASO registration points that are around town where you can rush to. That if you're a little away from a Renapro Finance SA agency, you can rush to these registration points and get your MASO booklet and start your contributions. Just make sure that you are up to date and you are following every development about the mutual assistance and the solidarity, because trust me, every year, every day, innovations come up to make it better, to make it more family friendly, to make it more human friendly, because humanity is at the heart of the mutual assistance and the solidarity. Now, today we are looking at the registration points at Kolmeseng, and if you are around Kolmeseng, that is Carrefour Mome Bellinga, it is at the Ola service station. You will get to Cooker Muriel. Cooker Muriel has the phone numbers 674 724 422. I'm taking the numbers slowly so that you can jot them down. 674 724 422. That's the telephone number of Muriel in Kolmeseng, where you can register for the mutual assistance and solidarity. Now we also have Black Shop. Black Shop is another registration point for MASO, Carrefour Oyoma Bank, Carrefour Colbison, Camp Sonel Oyoma Bank, and Usine des Eaux. Those of you around this area, you can contact Black Shop via the numbers 698 940891, 698-940891, and you will request to talk to Mélie Armand Gervais. Now, we also have Baby Mul Ewane, who responds on the numbers 699-354-618, and the registration point is situated at Carrefour Ekunu at the new boutiques of the market, Nouvelle Boutique du Marché. Just go there, you call these numbers, and you will meet the agent for your Maso registration. We also have another registration partner at Cartier Ebang. Ebang is somewhere on the outskirts of Yaoundé. The phone number is 698-940891. 698-940891, and you ask for Fofo Idris. Now, if you do not know, Renapro Finance SA clocks 30 today. Not this particular day, I mean this year, okay? Before you start coming here to take birthday gifts and presents, Biko. Renapro Finance SA clocks 30 this year, 2026. That calls for celebration, right? Most definitely. And so if you want to be a part of this grandiose celebration, Renapro will be 30, Royal FM will be 10. Come on now, you want to be a part of the celebration, just register into the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity so that you join this family and enjoy. Nice things will be there. There will be beautiful prizes to be won. There will be beautiful lessons to take home. What will you be doing that you want to miss such an occasion? Join the Maso family today, because as we always say, at the Maso, we simply live our African values.
Welcome to Bisai University Institute. In the field of HND, first and second cycle, our field of studies includes banking and finance, accounting and management of enterprises, human resource management, microfinancing, corporate business rights, journalism. In the field of computer network and telecommunication engineering, we have software engineering, network and security. In the training of bachelor, master and doctoral level, we have business, banking and finance, accounting and management of enterprises, human resource management, microfinance, corporate business rights, journalism, held with work studies, internship consisting of 20% theory and 80% practical in a modern, calm, pleasant, comfortable and favorable environment, with an experienced and dedicated teaching staff, carefully selected, an administration that has placed the student at the center of all its priority, and the practice of bilingualism, which offer the possibility of studying in French in English. Back to School 2025-2026 academic year is slated for the 27th of October 2025. Best student in each field of study will be directly recruited into the group Renapro Finance SA. Bisai University Institute, our campus is located at Ekono, precisely Garage des Chevaux, near the Presidential Guard, Yen Yaoundé. Contact us at 693-930231, 699-026366, 697-264284. Bisai University Institute, simply created for your well-being.
Bienvenue à l'Institut universitaire Bisai. En cycle BTS, première et deuxième année, nos filières, gestion, spécialité, banque et finance, comptabilité et gestion des entreprises, gestion des ressources humaines, microfinance, droit des affaires de l'entreprise, journalisme. Génie informatique, réseau et télécommunications, spécialité, génie logiciel, réseau et sécurité. En cycle licence, master, doctorat, nos filières, gestion, télécommunications, informatique, communication, spécialité, banque et finance, comptabilité et gestion des entreprises, gestion des ressources humaines, microfinance, droit des affaires de l'entreprise, journalisme, santé, avec des stages en alternance sur 20% de théorie et 80% de pratique, dans un cadre de travail moderne, calme, agréable et studieux, avec un corps enseignant expérimenté et dévoué, sélectionné avec rigueur, une administration qui met l'étudiant au centre de toutes ses préoccupations et la pratique du bilinguisme qui offre la possibilité d'étudier en français ou en anglais. Rentrée académique le 27 octobre 2025 pour l'année 2026. Les majors dans chaque filière seront directement recrutés dans les entreprises du groupe Renapro Finance SA. Institut universitaire Bissaï. Notre campus est situé au lieu-dit Ekounou, garage 2 chevaux, à côté de la gare présidentielle à Yaoundé. Contactez-nous au 693 93 02 31 699 20 63 66 697 26 42 84. L'Institut universitaire Bissaï, créé tout simplement pour votre savoir-être.
At Maso, we simply live our African values.
Welcome back. If you are just tuning in, you are on to Topics and Realities, your favorite debate program on 88.4 Royal FM. Today we are going to be looking at the roadmap that President Paul Biya carved out for 2026 for Cameroonians. But before we dive into our topic of discussion, let's look at what has been making news within the week in Cameroon through this press review signed Evans Williams Njobati.
Good afternoon, Zita. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this other edition of What's Making News in Cameroon, according to the newspaper review, with me, Evans Williams Njobati. We begin with Le Messager, which focuses on the CPDM party, which has been felt with a lot of controversies lately. Generation Libre goes to the extent of pointing out that more than 96 billion francs CFA have been lost within the ruling party. African Folk comes back to the in-wars within the CPDM South section that has left many political observers divided. Le Journal Epevier even front pages Ferdinand Gongo and Paul Biya speaking of an architect of fidelity and a guardian of continuity. As for Cameroon Tribune, the newspaper has made a resume of President Paul Biya's speech with 50 billion francs CFA expected to be injected to boost entrepreneur youth and women. Actu Sports says Paul Biya has forgotten the sports sector in his end-of-year speech. On the other hand, Cameroon Insider, The Voice, and La Voix du Consommateur are concerned by the persistent sale of sachet whiskey. Réalité Plus even headlines, I quote, Cercueil liquide à 100 francs. The National Post breaks the news of Sonara expected to double capacity after fire tragedy. Le Citoyen newspaper rather speaks of 150.8 billion francs CFA set aside to reinforce urban street security cameras and national video surveillance extension to remote areas. Even L'Economie newspaper speaks of the new updates of securing cities with freshly acquired Chinese high-tech cameras. L'Oeil du Sahel, on its part, is shocked by the sad incident in Gaoundéré where a young boy stabs his mom 38 times to death. And talking about sports, L'Info à chaud, Camel Sport, Le Populi, and other news articles all talk about Cameroon's upcoming clash against South Africa come January 4, 2026 at 8 p.m. in the 2025 African Cup of Nations hosted by Morocco. As for Sport Plus, they fear Coach Pagu David could have met his match given that it is former Indomitable Lions coach Hugo Broos who leads the Bafana Bafanas of South Africa. And it is with that we end this other edition of the press review with me, Evans Williams Njobati. Wishing you the best of the program in the company of Mapala Zita. Till next Saturday, I'm done and dusted.
See you next Saturday, Evans Williams Njobati. Thank you for that roundup of what was making news across Cameroon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's set the red carpet officially for our gentlemen in the house. I will be saying Happy New Year to Kotem Prince Will.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year to all the listeners of Royal FM. Happy New Year to your crew, the team. Happy New Year to my fellow panelists. And Happy New Year once again to all Cameroonians out there. We hope that the year is going to be a good one.
Hopefully.
We're hoping, you know, with the present conditions and everything we're living in, we hope we're going to be a good one, so we're being positive. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Nathan, you're an old broom in the house already. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Zita. Thank you for inviting me once again. And I wish same Happy New Year to our listeners and those who are willing to really participate while we'll be on the panel.
Rogers, my paddy of all the time. Rogers, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Zita. Happy New Year to all the listeners of Royal 88.4, especially those of Topics and Realities. I have a special Happy New Year, Zita, to a certain group of people.
Okay.
Yes, you remember this group of people who contributed some money to support the candidacy of the President of the Republic. I have a special Happy New Year for them because they were rewarded. We heard the President say he has 50 billion for youth, and we know that they said they were the youth.
Yes.
So there were about 40 of them. I've just divided 50 billion by 40 and seen how rich each of them will become in 2026. Special Happy New Year to them, and also special Happy New Year to the makeup artist of Cameroon. I saw the head of state on the 31st of December. Thank you very much.
Oh my, I'm not going to come to that right away. Nathan, what did you get from the press review that caught your attention?
Well, I will first of all appreciate the new coach of the Cameroonian team. Thank God for the victory he made.
Oh, football.
Yeah, but then concerning our coach, the one who first of all sent away Hugo Bruce, who is now the head of the South African team. I think that he will be having it like a challenge to win our team. And even if he doesn't want to admit it, that is going to be some sort of a revenge, but I think that he, knowing the different methods we'll be using in this team, and at the same time coming back to confront it with its new talented players that are coming up, is going to take it like a trophy if he finally wins. So I think his challenge is hidden inside his desire to revenge, considering the way he went from the team.
Okay, and it's you're not too certain because he has a little bit of tactical information concerning the Cameroonian team.
So I believe that somehow we may be having surprises from him. But then I'm still a little bit confident that we may not really be overcome by the South African team.
Okay, Prince Will, what information caught your attention? Was it football too?
Thank you, Zita. Actually, I'm a lover of football, so I got a lot of information, but I think maybe I should go with football since we have other matters we'll be talking about. They are very intricate. So, with football, there's a lesson I picked out from the new Indomitable Lions team. A team made of young people, vibrancy, energy, where people did not think that they could reach. At least majority of people did not expect them to even cross the first round. With some reasons they gave which were valid, but what they have shown is that spirit of fight, that fighting spirit, what we call the Hemley. It has shown that young people in Cameroon can also do something. It's a way to put forward that it is not just about football only, but it's about the energy that Cameroonians have that they can do, and that pushes me to go forward to make a pleasant call to Cameroonians, because we'll be expecting, no matter the time, we'll be expecting the municipal and legislative elections this year in Cameroon.
Definitely.
And the same energy that we could put as Cameroonians to support our team, the same energy the young players put in the field to be able to do what other people did not expect them to do, is the same energy I want to encourage Cameroonians, young people out of the football pitches, those who are in the quarters, those who keep complaining that we have trash, we don't have roads around our quarters, because we should make a distinction between that. This is the time. We must not only complain, because the legislative or the twin elections are election of proximity. which therefore means that you are the person who is going to be elected the mayor or the parliamentarian is going to be the person from that community where there has been trash, where there are no interquarter roads, there's no those minor facilities that are supposed to be handed over to them. So I want to call on Cameroonians to say, young people, the same way we reunite behind our national team, the same way and the same energy we see in our young players that we admire, we should also replicate the same energy within our constituencies, our communities, so that we can 2026 we can make Cameroon and our councils a better place.
Okay, thank you very much, Prince Will. Rogers, what information caught your attention?
I was very touched to hear that a political party lost 96 billion and still survived, and is still surviving and thriving.
The ruling party, to be more precise.
Yes, it is just, first of all, I want to imagine that a political party can have up to 96 billion CFA funds in its account. And then secondly, losing the amount, and we have not even seen anything happening as if the party is in financial crisis. I think sometimes I've kept on saying it, we should be well informed about the laws of this country, because when they talk of anti-corruption and they limit it to ministries, it becomes very alarming. Because if a political party can lose a certain amount of money and is still surviving, that party should be richer than certain ministries in Cameroon.
Most definitely.
And the next question is, what is the source of that amount of money which they are crying over or fighting over? So that is what really touched my attention. I think that it is time for Cameroonians to start asking very strong questions, because, well, silence has been, sometimes there is a time in life when silence makes you an accomplice. Yes, and it even becomes betrayal if we continue keeping silent and looking at things that are happening which we know very well that are not normal, and we keep silent about that. It's true that even within that party today we don't know who is who, because today it's either this minister acting on behalf of this person in the party and so on.
There's a lot of in-house fight with the party.
We may leave them with their in-house fight and let us try to see some transparency. I want to tell you that if a political party, an opposition party declares that amount of money today, the government will crack down on that party to find out how it is happening. They will start accusing people from the diaspora for sponsoring this or that and so forth. But why don't we have the right to ask that? But who sponsors this kind of? What is a political party in the first place doing with 96 billion?
That's just money that's missing. It's not like it's
not
all
even
their money.
The money of
that's
the party.
That's just what they've lost.
So what are they doing? By the way, a political party is supposed to be an organization that functions by the free will of people and so on, because it is just about mobilizing people behind an ideology.
But the 96 billion could be free will donation that has come in from the members and sympathizers
How
of the party.
many Cameroonians is it if you want to take 1 billion, let's take 1 billion CFA francs, and you keep it somewhere and you are spending 100,000 francs a day. After 27 years, you will have 13.9 million still left. I'm talking of 1 billion. Multiply that by 96 and tell me how many 100,000 francs are there. Those people giving free widows, how much do they give? How much do they give? And how do they give to political? What is a political party doing with that amount of money? And at the end of the day, government will tell us that they are funding political party campaigns, they are funding this one. So at the end of the day, what is it for? Until it is being lost and it's appearing on newspaper, nobody's ashamed about it, nobody's even accountable for it. I think those things, when we keep quiet about those things, we become accomplices. It's good that Cameroonians should start asking questions. And we are calling on militants of the CPDM, because they are the ones who have made it look like the party is... the fact that they are militant does not mean they cannot ask questions about issues happening within them. I still believe that there are still credible people within that party who can stand up and say, but what is happening? What is going on? But they keep quiet. Maybe popular opinion holds that they are protecting their positions. But that's also a sign of incompetence. If you are so desperate to keep a position, it means that you don't know your worth. If you don't know your worth, if I go to a school, I'm so desperate to protect the principal because I don't want to be sacked, it means I don't know my worth. Because if there's a point where a line must be drawn, and then we...
Okay, thank you very much, Rogers. Romuald?
Royal FM,
Hello, Mola. Rejoins le secteur Yamo MTN pour rester connecté au bon plan sur yamo.mtn.cm ou tape étoile 220 dièse.
All right, that was just to give a high five to one of our partners in the house. Let's come back. Rogers, are you good? But Nathan, Rogers is complaining about a political party losing up to 96 billion francs CFA and no one is asking questions. Is it actually that no one is asking questions, or Cameroonians are fed up asking the same questions all the time?
I think you just had the answer. Yeah, Cameroonians are fed up asking the same questions over and over because those questions will never be seen on the press. It's not like people did not ask, but they never wrote it on the press because the system has made it in a way that if you insist too much on something, you'll be tracked down for something you are trying to bring clarifications on. So sometimes people prefer keeping quiet than speaking because they believe that if they speak too much, they'll be haunted for something they were not supposed to be haunted for. Okay. It will be as if maybe they had a secondary aim. Meanwhile, they just want to call on the attention of those powers that be in that same system that you guys are bringing down something that was not supposed to be brought down. And to me, to be very frank, I don't really think that is a problem to me because I'm not saying that it's not a problem. It is a problem, but what I'm trying to say is that it's not like a surprise to me.
Okay.
Why? Because we've been having funds that we've been indebted at the level of the parliament, the vote budgets from which they have been they indebt the country on it, and later on we don't see where these monies have been spent. And they say that the monies they are borrowing is just to sponsor some few companies, to bring in investments and all the like, just like the president made in his cited in his comment in his speech that they are going to they are going to take in his injecting a certain loan in the economy to boost the economy at the level of the to see how investment can bring out a return that is going to permit the country's income to rise. But then we'll just discover that this year we are coming out of had the same problem. Until now, we've not been given a clear balance sheet on what they did with the monies. And what they did is, at the beginning of the year, it was 7,000 something, 7,300 and something billion that was that was voted. But along the line, by the month of June, another budget was being voted, and this budget was supposed to be borrowed again, indebting the country. And the funniest thing about it is that we're not giving details on how this money was used. It's true that they said that it's to boost up the economy of the country, but later on we have not yet been presented a project on which this money have been spent. We have not yet been given an account on which this money have been spent. And by the end of this year, and just this month that just passed, the parliament still voted another budget without giving an account of what took place
during the November session of parliament.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is that to me it's not something surprising, because most of those who are in that ruling party are those who are controlling the government administration, all the mechanisms that permit finances to circulate left and right. They are the key players in them. So it's not a surprise to me, because if at the national level you guys do such things, and then you people bring up something in your party that it's happening, which is just directly similar to what is happening at the level of the state, it means that we, the lay people, were not wrong complaining that the government is seriously corrupt. Because till now, I believe that there were supposed to be institutions that were supposed to track down people who are out to make funds to disappear without leaving traces.
But we have the National Anti-Corruption Commission.
That is a problem. In the past, we had Mr. Mafani Musonge who started it. We are having some few informations on how they were working, and later on it died out. The question now is...
Yeah, just like the Operation Sparrow Hawk has
exactly.
died down.
So the question now is, what are they doing with all the informations? Because our President rightly said in his speech that he has decided to tell us the truth. And he has decided to be one of the politicians who always stand for the truth. Because most of the politicians in Cameroon are coming to come and promise people heaven and earth and all the rest just to deceive them. But he has decided to stand on the path of the truth. Now the problem is not the truth, because everybody knows the truth about the country, but the problem is, what are they doing with the truth?
Okay.
What have they been doing with all the truths that they have been gathering? That's the problem. Because it's easy for a criminal to accept that he is a criminal, he has committed a crime. But the problem is,
how ready is he to change?
How ready is he to change? And if he's not ready to change, what are the mechanisms put in place to oblige him to at least have a 10% change?
Okay. Well, that's pretty interesting. Principal, do you have anything to add from the press review?
You guys have been talking a lot about the party. I'm the Secretary General of the Movement for Patriotism and People's Prosperity. That's the MP3 party, the party headed by Samuel Iram Iyudi, who was one of the candidates for the just ended October 12th presidential elections, and I think we did so well.
How is your party faring? We should have
faring so well. We had our convention on the 12th, from the 12th to the 14th of December that just passed in Bana, at Bana in the West region, where Hiram was elected the president, and I was equally elected the Secretary General. We have other...
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And so, Zita, with the just ended presidential election, of course, I was the general campaign coordinator for Hiram Iyudi.
Yes, and you put in a lot of work, we must say.
Of course, and I moved around the country with him. Owing to the fact that it's not my first presidential election which I've partaken in, or not taking part actively in, because in 2018, just by year where Barrister Kerimuna had his what they call his headquarters. I was the campaign coordinator for the Now Movement, Yaoundé 5, Yaoundé 6, Mefa Famba, Mefa Kono. That's 2018, and I tell you, it's been about 8 to 10 years of experience on the field when we talk about political party and partisan politics. The just ended election I learned a lot. I got a lot of experience. I usually hear people to say, I have experience. Experience is not what you're being told. Experience is not what you think.
No, it's what you live.
What you live. And it's not only how you live it, how you appreciate it, because there are some people live and don't even appreciate what goes around them. And when I hear people say 90 billion is missing, 80 billion is missing, sometimes it almost gets me mad, because we believe we behave sometimes like we don't know what is happening, like we are not here. Let me just take a quick example. A political party like us, like every other political party, has the right to raise funds. But how do they raise funds? Through sales of party gadgets, contribution from sympathizers or members, so you want to call them. So militants, that's the word I was looking for. For us, we are not militants, we are patriots, because the movement for patriotism. So that name militant is sometimes. So militants, contribution from militants, and dongs, what you call gifts, donations.
Yes, donations.
And like I said before, sales of party gadgets, And when people start telling you about 96 billion, 90 billion, 80 billion, 8 billion, like I would not want to repeat what he said. Billion, you know what is a billion? And a political party tells you they keep billion. My point is not about them keeping billion, but I want to explain to you how they manage even to do that. It doesn't even cause any harm to any person. Running back to Article 66 of the Cameroon Constitution, what does it say? It says that any person holding any post of responsibility that's within the government or parliamentary or elected official need to declare their assets. Okay? Have we ever seen that? There's a law is there, but there has been no implemented law or decree of implementation ever since nothing has come up. Now, when you have a country where there are rules and regulations, and one of those rules and regulations has to do with checks and balances, has to do with control of state institutions and internal affairs of the state, because anybody with 1 billion, 2 billion can make a coup d'etat at any time. That's a huge sum of money.
Yes.
And so a state that is in its normal senses, where he has people who rule and want to see the stability of the country move forward, the year that a particular political party has 90 billion, and we have not heard about any open investigation. However, why will we know? Why is it that there is no investigation? It's very normal. The same party, ruling party, they are the same people who have flooded the government. Now, you have organs that are supposed to do these checks and balances. You have the CONAC we've studied. You have ANIF. You have so many of them. They have so many of these names. But what do? The person who appoints the head of these institutions first is the one who is the president of the party who is assumed to have lost 90 billion. And so I should appoint you to come and do an investigation of the 90 billion that is missing in my party. So we should be. I don't know how we see it. The same organs, CONAC, ANIF, and the others, they have the powers to recommend. This is what we have done. This is how we have. Take it. It is the president of the republic who decides what to do with it. So his party is having some sort of I don't know how to put it, loopholes, and they're saying that they have embezzled 90 billion, or 90 billion is missing that of money. You want that you should go and sanction people there, that they should remove him? He just took another mandate. He should be thinking for another mandate again. Who knows? But that will be at the expense of Camerooners. If Camerooners don't want to wake up,
yes,
if they want to do the right thing, that is why Irami Yodi and myself will keep calling on young Cameroonians. The same energy you put in watching football, supporting football, this is the time. This year, they did whatever they did. The Constitutional Council proclaimed whoever they proclaim as the president. Now, when we're talking about local and municipal elections, because that is where the fraud begins. The parliament, who is supposed to do, if these organs, ANIF, CONAC, and the others are unable to do this, or more, at least some of us, we did, some of even our listener did law. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, they talked about separation of power. That's what leads to the correct function of the state, which therefore means that if the executive, which is headed by the president, is misbehaving, the legislative needs to come in. Yes. But the legislative itself is a shadow of itself. How do you want it to come in? A legislative organ that is made of a best majority by the ruling party. You talk about the constitution says you need to send bills, finance bills. Then the standing orders will say you need to send finance bills 15-20 days before, and they bring it 5 days before or 3 days. Nobody talks about it. Is that the organ you want that they should go and look who has embezzled 50 billion or 60 billion? So, in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that there are some issues that we don't even need to talk about them in Cameroon anymore. We need to find solution, because talking about who has embezzled 50 million, 50 billion, the story is too long. There was a time here they told us about Poor BI Higher Education Vision calculators, advanced calculators. They brought it for us 75 billion. Who asked about it? 2 weeks after, nobody could find those things. They're not asking. Well, those things have not changed Cameroon. We should take the councils and the mayors now. So when we go to the parliament, we'll see how they'll be able to pass laws without an obvious majority. That is what needs to occupy Cameroonians now. Well, they have stolen 50 billion. We have heard on social media and other things. Well, you may want to verify. Say, some members of those ruling parties come up and say, oh, you see, we use 50 million here to bribe people to get this, to get election. I didn't hear about so many people talked about it. Recently, we've seen on social media the speech of the President of the Republic saying a lot of things. I don't know when last Mr. Biya announced that he was going to form his government. Recently, we are seeing what people are doing. You take pictures and you put on social media where you see classified state documents are loitering around chairs and tables where somebody could put in a kaba or not, and you are telling me that we are
I know we are coming to that. That's
that
our
we
main
need to
topic
talk
of
about
discussion. We'll
on
be coming
how
to
to
it.
move this country forward and not some type of issues. The thieves will always remain thieves.
Okay.
Thieves will remain thieves. They will not change. Have you ever seen a goat that gave birth to a lion? Never.
Okay. Right, that was very interesting. Now, gentlemen, before we move out of the press review part of this program, I particularly was touched by the story of this young man who stabbed his mother to death and the precise that he gave 38 steps for her to die. What has happened to moral decadence in our country? How did we get here with children killing their parents?
First of all, I would like to see the person who counted the steps and then let him tell us what he was doing while counting. Why you see somebody being killed and you spend time counting the number of times they're stabbing that person. But away from that,
maybe it's through investigation. I don't know. Maybe an autopsy.
Away from that,
when they stab,
that's what Cameroon has become. People die, they go and make autopsy. What use is the autopsy? I don't want to get into that. But what I want to say is that, first of all, the Cameroonian youth is a betrayed youth. When we talk of moral decadence, the ordinary Cameroonian youth is not this thing we are sitting here and saying. It's a betrayed youth. The ordinary Cameroonian youth does not see any hope in the future. Talk to young people around. They don't see any hope. The least thing, if you listen to the story, you might hear the thing, maybe it will just be a very minute issue. The Cameroonian youth is a frustrated. We are living, the young people are living as if, well, my head is on my neck. You know, have you ever sat somewhere, you are thinking about your problems, and then somebody just steps in, no matter what the person is saying, as long as it is trying to maybe perturb your reasoning at that time, you may get unnecessarily angry. That is not to defend the action of the young man, but I'm trying to say that when things happen like that, we need to go deeper, because the root cause is better than the immediate solution. That's the first problem. A young man stabbing the mother means there must have been a young man stabbing another young man on the street, or fighting and stabbing somebody on the street is a different story. But stabbing his own mother, even talking back at his own mother, is already something very deep. Before reaching the level of stabbing, you understand from there that there is something deep we need to do as far as educating our young people are concerned. Somebody needs to come out with a strategy to give hope to the young generation. They need to have, many young people feel that, well, even those who are in school, they say, what would I even do after this again? Would I even get a job? And those who are even out of school, they are living as if tomorrow they don't even know what will happen. The young people know that the country belongs to the old. The gap between those who are leading them and even their parents. In most young people, even their parents are by far younger than the people they are hoping for. So it's a whole system of frustration, which needs somebody to come out with strategies to give that Cameroonian youth are afraid to talk. They are afraid to talk. You can't dialogue with a young person now. You need a lot of tact for him he or she to open. I'm saying it as a teacher. We have a situation where we really see that we need to dialogue with students. But it is difficult because the youth, they are even afraid that what they say may instead be against them. So now, whenever the young person wants to act in Cameroon, it is in anger. And every anger leads to damage. And so we need to go back to the drawing board and give back to these young people self-confidence. Give them back the ability to open up and the courage to listen and discuss. That is what the young people don't have. That is why stubbornness is today. It is not necessary. Stubbornness, the attitude of stubbornness that we have today from the young people comes from those things. It's more of a psychological problem. Many young people have lived, they are asking themselves, since I grew up, I'm hearing this is happening, nothing is changing, and so on. It's all about that. It's all about that. When you see that, even look at what is happening today. We have talked about football. I do not want to talk about it because to me the whole situation in Cameroon is a chaos. You can't imagine that Cameroon is divided today because some people want the Lions to be eliminated so that they will say no, Eto'o and his team have failed. Just like some people wanted in the other times that the Lions should be eliminated so that they should say the minister and his team has failed. That's all the sham. That is the disorder where the young people are found. You see, the whole thing is disorderly. People are praying for their own country to be humiliated so that they will point a finger at somebody for political reasons. Can you imagine how far we have gone? Bad. It is that bad. So when you see that kind of situation, it tells you that those players are young people.
Of course.
They have friends.
It's a really young team.
Yes, they have friends who are young. How can those friends again at the same time be wishing the failure of their own friends? Because this player has not been called up, the team to fail, so that it should be that because this player did not come, and so on. That is the whole chaos. So when you talk about this issue of, when I heard it, I felt it, but I was still thinking of what can we really propose with those in those kind of situations? And I think that we need to go back. We were saying here the other time, the government needs to go back close to its people. The government of Cameroon is too far from its people. Too far, so that the people are so. People see the government of Cameroon only through police, gendarme. It is not normal. It is not normal. They should see the government through action, through people who are there. What is social affairs doing? What the Ministry of Youth Affairs doing? All those things, they are the ones. Look at the street children there, the aggressors there. Sometimes we blame them, but I blame them, but sometimes I pity them rather.
Okay.
Because it is like an abandoned group of people. People have decided to wear their coats and tie and sit in offices, take care, send their children abroad, and these ones have been abandoned to nature. And unfortunately, you may hear tomorrow that the young guy was mobbed to death. That is still not going to be a solution to his mother's death. So it's all of that. I think that we need to look at it more deeper.
Okay, thank you very much, Rogers. Before we move out of this part, I don't know, Nathan. Rogers think it's the failure of the regime in power, but maybe we should also look at the society and what these youths watch on media today, because we see a lot of violence from the kinds of movies that they watch, the kind of horrible things that we see on social media. Children, you will see videos of children saying that I want to grow up and be a murderer because I see how they kill people and it's fun. That's because these children have been exposed to killing at very tender ages. They see those things that they are not supposed to see at their ages. Is it only the failure of the government, or you think, like me, that the media also has a hand in this?
You see, let me just start with this. Before I tell me whatever you are saying, I would like to say this. People always say that somebody can be sick, but when the head is still intact, it can be hopes that treatments can still be pursued. But when the head is affected, the brain is affected, automatically there will be no hope for the whole body. What am I trying to say? That somehow Roger still has a point there when he's talking about the regime in place, is because before this regime came in place, the former regime had mechanisms that were put in place to reduce a certain level of corruption. I'm not saying in the days of Ahijo there was
no, we're not saying it was a perfect regime. Yeah, not at all.
In his days, people were embezzling, but what was he doing? If he catches you that you have embezzled, the first thing he's going to ask himself is what have you done with that money? Good. If that money has employed a great number of people, what he will do is that he will give you warning. But if that money has not employed a great number of people, knowing that the country is suffering from unemployment, and you've taken that money to keep it as your personal money, boy, you go down for it without any second thought or whatsoever. And in his days, we had institutions like the Bosta Institute. The Bosta Institute was meant to, it was like a school to recorrect people that were abusive in the society. Children that were not ready to take correction. When you start becoming stubborn to a certain level that your parents can't handle you, they'll send you to the Bosta Institute. I remember that in the past, right up to the year of 1995, 96, 97, something like that, Bosta Institute was still existing in Boya, going towards Bukwango. I remember the site. So, and that school was meant to bring children together that were already like
being wayward.
Yeah, being wayward, and they were really trouble to the society. When they take them there, they had serious treatments that were being given to them to make them to understand that if you don't change, you are doomed forever. And this, and in that institution, children were not only taught normal general studies, but they were also taught a little bit of vocational studies, so that when they come out from it, they can be able to become maybe tailors, yes, or seamstresses and all the rest, not only paperwork. You understand? But
so
then,
what happened to that institution today?
That's the question we have to ask the government. So, and as time went on, we had also in those days we're taking very seriously religious studies. religious studies was also implicated in the primary schools in the
Yes.
form of moral education, but it was more of religious studies. But as time went on, these things were diluted in the program of education for the country. Now, as time went on, let me just say, as time went on, we started seeing also the government fighting against churches. It's true that for now they have stopped trying to close down churches that were not having licenses. That was a good job, but to me, I think it was uncalled for.
Okay.
Why? Because these institutions that we call churches are there to purify the brains of people, are there to extract the odds that are really destroying the society. And I think
All
that
right, Nathan, please, 1 minute, Romeo.
Royal FM.
Il est 17h, bro. C'est l'heure de win chez Orange. 6 voitures de l'heure. 50 voyages pour atterrir au Maroc, plus des milliers de maillots de Lions et des centaines de millions chaque semaine avec Orange Bonus. Combi, Nagle Jazz 111 étoiles 1 Jazz ou avec Orange Money au Jazz 150 Jazz. Orange est là.
Orange est là.
Okay, we are actually wrapping up with you for
Yeah.
this first part of the program.
please, can I just say something?
Of course.
Okay, now I was just trying to illustrate that. I was just trying to illustrate how things were changing progressively over the years, and coming down to the media, I wanted to also say that if we look at countries like China, there are things that they don't permit.
Yes,
Because they control it at the level of the satellite. Now and it permits the children to grow up with a certain standard of morality that permits them not to have a kind of chaos in their society at the level of morality. But then we'll also discover that comparing ourselves with them, they at least had the means to they have a satellite and they can control things to an extent that if a child really gets into a certain level of access to some odds over the internet, it means that he's coming from a very wealthy family where he's dilapidating wealth, buying expensive VPN to download certain things and all the rest. But then, coming to our own country, don't we have the world? We have the world to have a satellite.
We do.
And the problem here is also that the powers that be in the country that have to cross-check things and bring balances in everything that is happening in the country have decided themselves not to respect the laws that they have put in place. So if a child growing up sees that our parents are being molested to have fought for the truth, and each time they come up with something, they are being persecuted for that same thing, what is going to come down in their mind is that the first thing that is going to be in their mind is that anybody can do what he wants provided you are not caught.
Okay.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, and that's dangerous.
And that's dangerous. And when people are already having that kind of mentality and a ministry comes up that is supposed to safeguard the culture, the moral standards of the people, saying that children should not be given corporal punishment, only for them to readjust later on because of the reaction of the population to say, no, we are not saying that children should not be beaten, we are just asking teachers to control the way they are handling children. It was really, 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 really bad, because after that statement, before she was trying to correct things, people took it on themselves to stop teachers from correcting their children in different schools. You come to a school, a child will insult a teacher and you want to talk to the child is ready to bring his parents to come and fight you or do something that is really uncalled for, and showing the others that they can do same. If my classmate can do this kind of thing, what about me? Is it because they are rich that I cannot, that they are doing it? What about us who are poor? So that kind of thing. And you know that children easily copy wrong things. Even the Bible says that a whip drives away the folly from the heart of a child.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that everything, like Mr. Rogers said, started from up there. If they had watched to follow the little don't do and do that they put in place, I think that wouldn't have gone this far.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nathan. Now, our main topic of discussion is President Paul Biya's end of year address to the nation. And I'll just point out some of the things that the head of state noted. First of all, for one very rare time, the speech came at 7 p.m. instead of the regular 8 p.m. that we all know since Le Temps d'Aïdjo. Now, during the speech, President Paul Biya promised cabinet reshuffling. That is also one rare time that the head of state announces that he is going to appoint a new government. He reiterated on improving the situation of women and youths, and there is a youth promotion plan of about 50 billion francs that is in the 2026 state budget, strictly for youth-led projects. The head of state also frowned at opposition political actors who tell a lot of lies to Cameroonians and give them false hope, because he, President Paul Biya, has and will always be on the path of truth. Now he talked about progress in the provision of potable water and promised that more will be done. He gave assurance about the betterment of road infrastructure through special programs. He talked about intensifying efforts to enhance performance of the education and health sector. But then he also hails the defense and security forces who have been doing a great job in the country. He talked about structural reforms implemented in the economic domain with significant increase in the investment budget and measures that have been taken to curb inflation. At the end of it all, President Paul Biya says he trusts Cameroonians' unwavering support for him and that he is confident that the best is still to come. Now, I want to open our lines too for Cameroonians to participate. Those of you listening to us on radio and watching us live on YouTube, the numbers are 640-613842, 640-613842, or 671-157321, 671-157321. These are the numbers through which you can call to participate in the program. Gentlemen, President Paul Biya made a lot of promises. He did a balance sheet and say a whole lot of things are going well. There are still some little loopholes, but tomorrow will be better for Cameroonians. Rogers.
Well, to me, I wasn't expecting anything different. So it has been like that. I've been hearing those speeches. But what struck me was that, in fact, where he impressed me was that he hailed the military.
Yes, he
for
saluted
killing about 50 young people after elections.
No, he did not say they killed people.
Well,
he saluted them for doing a good job.
I am giving the reason.
Okay.
I didn't say he gave the reason. Because in a situation like this, the head of state is first of all a political person, and then a head of state. Those are two things we cannot escape from. I was expecting that after mentioning a little bit about election, the head of state should have condoled with families that lost their loved ones during the post-election violence. Yes, that would have shown an openness to those who are against him. But hailing the military without quoting any particular reason and calling it a good job, Cameroon is not at war with any external force. We would have thought that maybe he hailed the military for fighting maybe an opponent that was coming from outside. The military has been acting in Cameroon, but internally. And then
maybe the fight against Boko Haram.
Well, but he didn't say it either.
So, or against separatists?
Yeah, he didn't say it either. I am saying that the most recent, very, very clear action of the military was seen after presidential elections, and from there, lives were lost. Human rights groups are talking about 50. The official statement from government says 20, and so on. But the important thing was that every people one life.
Yes.
That family had lost somebody, and the head of state being the head of every Cameroonian, as he always says.
Yes, he's the father of all Cameroonians.
At least I should have condoled with that family. It's just like you tell me that because maybe he was told that all those people who died were those who were fighting to take his place. That's why he didn't care to condole with them. But I think that it was a very serious omission in that speech, which I expected, because the last Saturday I told you I wasn't expecting anything to come from him. Another thing that struck me was he talked about youth-led projects. No, there is not today. We have had Paget U, we have had PIFMAS.
And they've allocated 50 billion francs
and
for
young
that.
people have never known where it is going. That's why in the beginning, I already started congratulating those I know were targeted by who were called young people. Because Paget U had existed here, they told us it was for young people in the same country. But at the end of the day, the common Cameroonian young man never knew how it was functioning. PIFMAS had existed, they told us it was for young people. CDD, AFOP, and so on. That's why youth-led project. What is new in telling us now about youth-led project? It's just a repetition. It's just a way of still reminding us that those people who call themselves the young people are going to benefit. And as I told you, I said those people told us they were 40 in number when they went there. They gave, it was a good investment they did to give 40 million for something, and then they give you back 50 billion. That was a good investment on their part. Another thing about the head of state speech is when you are talking about youth and you're talking about women, and you don't really talk about education. He barely mentioned and said there will be better performance in the education sector.
Yes, he said there's going to be an amelioration in the education and health sector.
It is terrible. The head of state gave us the impression that he doesn't know Cameroon. Because there are villages in the north and south that till today, since schools closed how many years ago, have not opened. There are parents there who cannot send their children to live in cities.
But he's been ruling Cameroon for over 40 years. He should know Cameroon.
He should. That's what he said. But I'm saying that I had the impression that he doesn't know that there are young people who cannot attain education by no fault of theirs. And he didn't tell us that he is thinking about them. He has anything to do for them. The head of state did not let us understand that there are many young people today, even in what we call cities in Cameroon, where we are. The school fees, because many people turn to private education. By the way, that's what is mostly available. The school fees are skyrocketing every day, and parents are being held. They can't keep their children at home. While life is difficult for them to get money, school fees are skyrocketing. The head of state did not tell us whether they are going to revamp the private sector of education and see if they could subsidize schools the more and see if they could control this issue of school fees. Nothing. And you are talking of young people. What about young people? How do young people come out to develop projects? He didn't talk anything about vocational training and formation. So how will projects even be developed? You can't tell me that you take money and come and give me and say, well, just take this money and go and carry out the project. You must, first of all, have trained me in something. Anita was mentioning there a center that was training young people at delinquent, making sure that they come. We have not heard of this thing. They told us some other time that they had a rehabilitation center for young separatists who had dropped their weapons. We thought that they would say that no, this is how many they have already trained, and then they have already now in the process of start empowering them financially to do this. I didn't hear of it. So there were so many omissions. The speech ended up just being another political campaign for the next 7 years, and I'm not surprised because I know that next 31st I will see hear something similar.
Okay, we have a caller online too. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mama. We are happy to have you.
Thank you. I also greet your guests to the studio and I'm wishing a Happy New Year too.
Happy New Year too, ma.
Yes, I would not like to talk about politics, I'll just directly talk about the teachers, how they are badly maltreated by parents.
Okay.
I am a parent, but I would not like that my child should misbehave in school to the extent of going to robber a teacher. Because the teacher is just doing the right thing to correct the child so that the child may ever do a good thing tomorrow. Let him not be a stubborn child,
Of course.
You cannot go because you have money, you want to show that money rules the world. It doesn't work like that. So I'm not happy in the other hand what the teacher, the parents are doing. They should be very careful. So long doesn't make it right. Head around and spoil the child. That's what they have been doing. I'll switch directly. I will not talk about politics because I don't like politics anymore. I'll just switch directly to football if you don't mind.
Okay, Mama, we're listening.
Yeah, you see, the president's speech was at that time that he had to shift it because we had a football match, which was very important for the Cameroonians. So Cameroonians was waiting for that match. So had it been for the right time, nobody would have heard his speech. It was clear. But you guys to understand what was just going on. Then I go straight to David Pedro. David Pedro is doing a very good job over there.
Okay.
These children are just newly into the football team. And they don't really know themselves. They just knew that struggling to make up something of battle something so that they can live together and fight the spirit together, fighting spirit together. But they are trying their best. So if they happen with South Africa in history, we haven't been in South Africa, then it can happen now. Genesis from Genesis, generation from generation can change because these ones are not the ones that play. So they can easily beat them as we can have a draw or they can win because the ball is round. When the ball is round, we can go the other way, can come this way. That is the point. But anyhow the case happens, we should congratulate those children because they have tried. They have the helpless spirit, the fighting spirit. They have taught us that Cameroon before anything when they're going out there. Now, not like the other teams when they were going there, they were looking about women and giving clothing. This is no matter of clothing. Now it's a matter of teams. Fighting for Cameroon, making the flag of Cameroon to go very far and high. That is the point. I thank also Papa and Sophie for the marvelous job he has been doing. Because when he was speaking, many of us were not listening. That thought he was joking. That now everything is set on the wall for everybody to read. Thank you.
Okay, Mama Vera, thank you very much for participating in the program. All right, she was just appreciating the Indomitable Lions and saying that they're doing a good job and Cameroonians should support them and support the team that is with the boys. And Mama also encouraged teachers, parents especially, she encouraged parents to help teachers do their job better by correcting the children alongside the teachers so that teachers don't find themselves in this dilemma where they correct the children today and then the parents come and use money tomorrow to show that their child is always right. And I think she was going in line with what Roger said a couple of minutes ago. Parents are not supposed to use money and want to control teachers in their classrooms. The job of our teachers is to straighten our children so that they be the future of tomorrow, like we always say. Now, let me come to Prince Will. What is that thing that President Paul Biya said that you are expecting to see better tomorrow in Cameroon? You who is of the opposition, Paul Biya talked about some of you. President Paul Biya, let me not call it as if he's my guy here. President Paul Biya talked about some opposition political actors. All right, we all know that EOD was not violent and he did not cause any trouble. But we had some people who made a lot of promises and created some chaos in the country during that period. And the head of state frowned at them because he has always been on the path of truth. I love that part.
But these are his friends. They have been friends before.
So it's his own toe that is bursting his shoe like that.
These are people who have lived in the same house, the same room for 25, 30 to 35 years. Are these strangers to him? They're the same people, you know. Sometimes if a rat has not run into your house, you don't know how it feels if a cricket is entering into your house.
Okay, that's deep.
You know, these things are things that
deep.
Yeah, these are some things that I don't know how they look into it, because when you talk about when Mr. Biya talks about truth, there is a difference between truth that you know and the truth that exists.
Okay.
Mr. Biya has always been telling us the truth, as he says. Zita, let me remind you, Mr. Biya told us the truth in 2014 that they were going to construct the Douala Yaoundé highway.
Oh Lord.
and it was supposed to end in 2018. That's 4 years. And you know, only later on in 2021, 2018 to 2021 is how many years? 3 years, up to 4. After 7 years, they gave us 60 kilometers off 215 kilometers of road. After 7 years. Okay. With an initial budget, which was supposed to be, I think it was run from 284 billion. They moved it forward to 350 billion. On the same road. They have been telling us the truth. Sometimes in 2011, 2012, they told us the truth, him and his ministers, that they were going to give us tramways in Douala and Yaoundé. We later on saw them inaugurating Okada parks. No, they have been telling us the truth. Let's go by those truths that we have been hearing. They constructed us a dam that is supposed to be turned and pulled, functioning by water. Mud goes and block the dam.
It's part of the truth.
Yes. If that is what it means, the truth. If that is what it means, the truth. Sometimes, you know, it makes me and most Cameroonians feel like Mr. Biya does not even know the country is ruling. Because we are talking about the truth. That's why I began my statement by saying that there's a truth that we know. It's not necessarily the right thing that is called truth, but all of them have the people just, you know, you are feeling free in calling the name truth. Everybody can call truth. But who is telling what to who? I mean, the least common, the road linking the national, or leave the national number 3, no, but linking the economic capital to the political capital. I don't know if some people travel, but some of us who are on the road every day, I know majority of Cameroonians travel. We even have portions like 800 to 900 meters of the road, which is Ed Road.
Yes.
Now they are doing what they call, the Frenchman call it pansement, in English we call it plaster. They are washing the wound and putting plaster. It will peel back. Who are they fooling? After 43 years in power, you are still telling the truth, Mr. Zita. I don't know what Mr. Biya is saying. Mr. Biya is asking Cameroonians to be patient. He's never going to fail them.
Yes.
That the best is yet to come from 93 years.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
Oh,
I mean, we are giving him
for 43 years.
Support.
For 43 years, the best is yet to come. It means that, okay, we should wait. Since as the Douala Yaoundé autoroute that were supposed to work for 4 years, took 7 years, and Biya is 43, the best years to come. It means that you should take 43, remove at least. Because if you have 4 and you have 10, I mean, it was many want to make 8 times 2. So Biya should be giving you 88 years, 87 years plus, which means that you still have about 30 years or 40 years to have the best we are talking about.
Oh, wow.
How many young people will be there? He talks about, Mr. Biya talks about putting aside a budget 50 billion for his special youth and women project.
Oh, yes.
So have youth and women now become a little more special than all the population of Cameroon? Because my mother, what if my mother hears that? What if my father hears that? And that is not even the problem. The problem is this budget they are talking about that they are going to put aside to facilitate. The truth is, well, everybody has his own truth now. So what I will be telling you is that
I just wanted to remind you that was his truth.
Yeah, everybody has his own. Because me, I also wanted to give you my own truth.
All right, go ahead. You
because
have a right
what
to your
happens is, in 2023, 2024, the Biya government, from the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Youth Affairs, they brought big books. Import substitution, this, at the end of the year, when you want to look at our balance of trade, we imported more.
Yes.
In the year, they set aside more budget for import substitution. Because if they are really serious about this, we talk when there was a little bit of commotion up north, what they did was they wanted to show the strength that they have. They went and were importing onions and other things because they did not want to resolve the problem up north. They say, we'll show you people, you think that you are who? That is the truth they are talking about. It is how you're going to engage young people, which means imagine the onion and everything that was done up there. And imagine it's being done by young people. That's where they feed themselves.
Exactly.
I am an environmentalist. I'm a doctorate student. I will tell you, one of the causes of the jihadist issues in the north and in the northern regions which we are fighting today, it's because of unemployment. When most young people, unemployment have been caused by different factors. Some of them being climate change, some of them being bad governance. Because imagine those young people who were living in the Sahel region in the up north. that were principally living on cattle's rearing. Now with climate change, the grass is almost gone, the river Benue and others are dying down.
Yes.
With bad government or bad governance that we're supposed to have, at least Dubai is a desert. You have it's like I don't know. It's like a sea and everything. Yes. Is this thing is impossible in the north? Because we have bad government, and when you have these young people who no longer cannot live on these activities that they used to live on, what do? They are tempted to join. You think that most of our brothers will say today they are of the other camp. One minister called the boys in the bushes, others are calling Amber, others are calling different names. You think that those young people wanted to be where the majority of them wanted to be where they are today? No. Let's be honest. Some of them are caught in the web out of frustration. The Anglophone crisis began in the northwest and southwest, not because people wanted to separate. People were demanding, the Mancho BBC and everywhere who are in the Congo, not far from here, they were demanding for good roads. They were demanding for accountability. Let's be honest. Everybody has its honesty, like we still say. So but we have to step up if we want to say this. You cannot be accusing some opposition leaders of telling lies, and because if people are telling lies and other people are listening to it, it's because you have given them that chance to listen. If you yourself told the truth, what is truth, because truth never hides. I don't think the population have listened to what you are calling lies today. And when you went for us to look at structural reforms and everything, I asked myself, Mr. Bia, for how long? You are my grandfather, but for how long?
Great grandfather.
No, he's my grandfather. He's even my father because my father died at 93, not too long, 2 years ago. So that's why I'm telling you that I know a man who is 93 years old, how he behaves and everything. We don't want to go to that in his private life. But we're saying that when Mr. Bia wants to address Cameroonians, we're not talking about the Android generation. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Where people, I don't know how these people see us, if we are clowns or whatever. You talk about structural reforms, and you fail to even cite us one sector that you are going to do the structural. Is the president who is talking vaguely like that in the air, and you are telling us that is the truth. Has the truth become implementable now? This is the question we're asking. And then the last one I'll end with is his cabinet reshufflement.
Yeah.
In his speech where Bia talks about cabinet reshufflement, it shows us it shows us how scattered what the Frenchman called désordre. I like the word in French better because English may not sound so good. Désordre. It shows the désordre that is in the midst of what we call governance today, or government. And I want to say the government is not people. The government does not own Cameroon. The government has its role to play in Cameroon. The real owners of Cameroon are the Cameroonian people. And so whatever thing the government think they are doing today, and they think that they can do anything they can do, move people from here and put every day, they should know that the Cameroonian people are watching. And the good thing is the Cameroonian people are so peace and loving, but it's not a weakness. That is not a weakness. These people who think that they are manipulating fools and idiots, Cameroonian people are very patient people. Even Mr. Bia knows that. That's why he had to say that. I know that you are patient people and you not listen, but that does not mean they are foolish people. They should be very careful. With all what the concoctions and things that they are putting in and putting out, we have to understand that Cameroon does not belong to an individual. Cameroon does not belong to the Bia's regime. Cameroon don't belong to the Bia government. Cameroon belongs to everyone. And what we should be talking about now is not about changing government. It's about who is coming to change what, where it has to be. Cameroonians are tired of the same speech every day. I don't have a problem with changing ministers, but is the minister coming to serve his village or to serve the regime because of partisan politics? Or is the minister going, if you are appointed minister of transport, you're going to ensure that the road accidents reduce? Are you going to ensure that we have good planes? Are you going to ensure that we have ships? If the appointed minister of public works and everything, you're going to ensure that roads are not only constructed in your village, but it's constructed everywhere in Cameroon. If you are appointed minister of housing, urban development, whatever, look at our airport, Zita.
And some of them, even in their villages, the roads are not constructed.
Even some of them in their villages. So it's not about even changing the government. Because what Bia's speech to some of us political analysts reflect to us the disorder that is in the government. The fact that it's even difficult for him to handle himself. It's difficult. Bia has never announced for 43 years, announced that he's going to form a government.
Yeah, but he did this time.
Oh, and it's the
truth. Nathan, let's not forget that President Bia emphasized that there is a track record like things have really been done, but he also admits that we still need a lot of sustainable efforts that have to be made, and he emphasized that these sustainable efforts will be the priority of the new government that he will be appointing.
Okay. Thank you, Zita, for that precision. I just wanted to say something that Mr. Kotem just emphasized one thing. That talking about the new government is not just, we're not against the fact that he has to get into a certain reshufflement, but the problem is who is coming to do what. Is it the same game that they have been playing over the years, where you just change players from different wings and everybody stands there and continue the match they really have been doing over the years? Thank you. Are you getting what I'm saying? So to me, I think that I was expecting, on the other hand, that he will say that I'm going to do a reshufflement where the big actors who are going to be coming are going to stop all the odds that we've been complaining about. That statement alone would have given some weight to his speech. If he had said that even concerning the corruption we've been complaining of in this country, we are going to rekindle the anti-corruption organ that we had made in this country, that had grown silence for years, so that things should start moving the way they have to, it would have made some sense. There are many things that we can really call his attention to, but then the problem is he going to take note of them?
Is he going to listen? All right. Nathan, I want to remain with you again. Let's come to the economic domain. I love the fact that President Biya, it's true, Prince, we said he was talking vaguely because he did not pinpoint on particular sectors and infrastructure like we wanted to hear, but he said structural reforms will be implemented in the economic domain, and there have been significant increase in the investment budget, and measures will be taken. Measures have been taken, but more measures will be taken to curb inflation. We know the society we are living in.
Correct. Please, before you finish that phrase, let us just be sincere. He has spoken his truth. Like we just said, one of our panelists just said that everybody has his own truth. Now let me say my own, let me just ask my own truthful question. What are the measures that have been implemented till now? Secondly, you will not be able to answer that question. That's why you are stammering.
No, I can attempt an answer. There have been this makeshift markets to, sell produce of basic necessity for the standard prices.
Auntie, please, let me tell you something.
Find something that will...
That's why I told you from the onset that you will not be able to answer that question. Why? Because we are still living under the pressure of skyrocket prices.
Yes.
Especially for basic necessities.
Yes.
Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, when they say that a lot of efforts have been done in the economic sector to do this and that, the budgets that they have been borrowing, they have been voting to say that they want to do this and that and all the rest. Okay, now, let them just give us an example of what they have done in the economic sector with that budget. That's just what we want. That's why one of our panelists said that his words were vague. There were two, that is, it was just...
we do not have statistics, we don't have the details.
Yeah, it's just a way of clouding people's minds and pushing them forward into a cloud to just accept whatsoever you are saying. It's true that he's trying to bring out a truth without giving the truth to the people.
Okay.
That's my own analysis. You understand? Because you can't bring out a topic where you know that people are really interested in, and then you just shut it without giving the final point of that topic you brought up. So I'm just trying to say that to me, nothing has been done. What we've experienced this year that just passed by is just more of political campaign, budgets that were embezzled, to sponsor the elections. That is what we experience. We're expecting that things are going to really change, but they weren't. It's true that somehow we had also, I think, the refinery that was inaugurated at Kribi. Meanwhile, we're expecting that they are going to revamp that of Limbe.
Yeah,
but
the
then,
Gypsy port.
Later on, it wasn't the case. But this year they did it at the Kribi. So I can say that it is something good, but it is really mediocre, because it has taken a lot of years. And if you look at the budget that they voted for this project, it is abusive. Are you getting me? Because in the long run, you discover that all of these projects that they have been voting, let me not even go far. The minister himself said that this budget that they have voted, it was in the month of October. He was trying to give a report of the budget, because when they voted the 7,000 something billion, later on they added 5%. They voted another 5% that they borrowed to add to it, with the concept that they were supposed to boost up firms, industries in the country to subsidize them, to promote all of those stuffs. But then they were saying that some of these projects, they are not even sure that it's going to, they are sure that they are still going to continue with the same method, because these projects have not yet been finalized. So the confusion in their statement makes us to understand that their problem is just that they are desiring to bring Nollywood movies into a government where they just call figures and randomly, and they feel at ease keeping the figures for themselves. That's just what I'm trying to see.
Okay, Rogers, you are a Cameroonian that goes to the market. You live with people around. You know the realities when it comes to the cost of living and economic situation of the country. When you listen to the head of state talk about measures that have been taken to curb inflation and the reality that you live on the ground, can you affirm that, I mean, even just a little effort has been done? I don't want to say those measures have been taken. Can you affirm that something at least has been done to better the living conditions of Cameroonians while waiting for better days to come ahead?
I will not even believe if I'm told that anybody has even thought of doing something, not to talk of doing something. I will not even believe if they tell me that anybody has thought of doing something. But the issue, the economy of Cameroon, when we talk of inflation, and I think Nathan was going towards this direction, inflation is not only curbed internally. It's not only kept internally. Okay. When you are trying to curb, because inflation, when there is inflation, the country's currency is fighting also with other currencies. Exactly. So there must be those things. When you are telling us about measures to curb inflation, when your whole speech did not mention anything about local production, it means that we will still have the problem of turning around and having to the struggle to give more value to our own currency. And once we are fighting to give value to our own currency, because somebody just mentioned about onion that was just abruptly being imported. If onion is imported in Cameroon, then we are in crisis, serious crisis, because we have it coming from every part of the country. Now, when we have a situation where decisions are made not by experts, because the problem we have in Cameroon governance is not even only the fact that I keep saying that even within the regime, within the system, there are people who are still credible. Yeah, and we have kept on saying it. We have never said that there are no credible people there.
We just have the impression that they are blocking them from carrying out their duty.
If you are talking about economic measures, let us see now that you have put experts in your government. Let us see now that we have people who actually master what they say. When you look at most, even the foreigners, the technicians who are in Cameroon, who have come from abroad, when they are giving speeches during inauguration ceremonies, you don't see them writing, because they master what they are saying. All our government ministers have learned to prepare speech. Sometimes they even have a speech writing committee for them because they have to be told, they have to say what they themselves don't believe. That is why most of them avoid interviews. They know that when they will say one thing, the journalists will come this way, they will not be able to answer most of them. They come for interviews only for political reasons, where they are coming to defend the regime. But you will hardly hear a government minister of Cameroon organize an interview like that to explain his sector, how he's running his sector, because they don't master it. And when they don't master it, that is it. The governance cannot go. When things cannot move, because when we are talking, we are now starting a new year and a new mandate. A new mandate should start with a new political program. We don't need an announcement that you form a government. We need to see a government formed. When those things start coming, it is just to create distraction and create commotion in the air. And Prince was talking there about the truth. Yeah, he quoted, I thought he would also tell us that, remember, we have talked here about football. Remember that in 2011, Cameroon was allocated the right to host the AFCON 2016, not even the one that we finally hosted. There was a Comican that was created, which meant that that commission was to ensure that the infrastructure would have been ready before the end of 2015, so that the competition was later shifted to 2017, later taken from Cameroon shifted to 2019, and today those infrastructures are still incomplete. You see, we are in a total state of disorder. When there are things like that, we expect the head of state to come and elaborate them in his speech. He didn't even need to come and no. He was supposed to come. Pulling the speech to 7 o'clock was good enough because he knows that Cameroonians are so emotional about football. But he needed to elaborate on his speech. We needed to hear a head of state able to go step by step, or at least take one sector and say, yes, I know we have many problems, but let me touch this problem now because we cannot take time to talk about all. Instead of just flashing over a speech as if it was a group of sentences that was just meant to come together. No, that was a president's speech, which Cameroonians listen. Personally, I listened because I'm a citizen. It was a citizenship duty because I knew that there would be nothing important that would come from it. But I think that, as I said, the routine of disappointment is preparing danger for Cameroon. We are this routine that the government has set, that each time government comes out, any government figure comes out, the end result is the population being disappointed. It's not a very good base. It's not a very good way to set up things. He has talked about young people. We'll be asking questions in about 40 days' time when we'll be talking about Youth Week. We'll be asking questions to see what has happened between November and February, which the youth will be listening. We'll be listening to him on the 10th to hear again. If he will tell us, okay, between this time he told you that my mandate was for the young people, this is what I've done for you, and this is what we have in program. Is it that the problem in Cameroon, if you are talking about economy, is to empower people? And who do you empower in this case? Young people. There are many young people today graduate. There was some time they made a cosmetic something, they said to recruit up to 25,000 young graduates. You know that you cannot recruit only 25,000 young graduates in Cameroon, and no government can employ all its citizens. What a government has to do is create a system where the citizens can be empowered. When people graduate from universities, they should have some particular skills. When people come out from vocational training centers, they should be able to defend that, and they should have those financial means to back what they are doing.
Okay, I think we'll be having John Niba on the line. Let's have John Niba on the line. Hello, John Niba. Good afternoon. Happy New Year to you.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year, Mapala Zita.
Thank you very much. We are sorry we're taking you towards the end of the program. I've been trying to get to you to no avail. But we are looking at President Paul Biya's speech, the different promises he made, the evaluation he did for 2025, and perspectives for 2026. I'm sure you listened to his speech. What reaction do you have for it?
Yeah, I listened to his speech. It was an interview for 42 years. He has been making the same speech, and we tried to do a comparative studies. We see that he has always made promises that are not always fulfilled. 100%. This time around, we still listen to him keenly. But we some of us we are sad to know that he seemed not to really be aware of the happenings, political happenings, economic and social happenings on the ground in Cameroon. From that speech, for example, it was an aberration for the president to congratulate Cameroonians for the level of democracy, given that we have many opinion holders, people who think contrary to the regime, who escaped from Cameroon. We have many people who are hiding because they have a contrary view, or they supported an opposition leader rather than the ruling party. So the president cannot be happy that democracy has grown up in Cameroon. He equally made Cameroonians to understand that he has been very truthful since 1982, and that he stands for the truth. That is another aberration, because we begin to wonder why somebody who represents the truth will not take any action in the name of Anise Kanewe to disappear from Minat website and then replaced by the name of Jerene Yevga overnight. Somebody who stands for the truth. We were waiting for him to take action. There is no action. Somebody who represents the truth. It is funny to see that fake observers who come in from the Transparency International in 2018 to observe an election, and somebody who represents the truth does not levy sanctions on those who brought in the fake observers. We can give many examples. That is to tell you that they're not the truth. Somebody who stands for the truth should explain to Cameroonians why only 22 kilograms of gold were officially exported out of Cameroon, whereas they are talking about 15 tons that were sold. So you see, this is not somebody who is actually representing the truth. I think Cameroonians can judge for themselves.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you very much. I don't know if you have anything to add before we go out of the program.
Yeah, I think President Pobia ended by saying that the best is still to come, and it is just like you are telling a small child in the nursery school, because he has been there for 42 years, it is not now that the best will come. I think the best thing that can happen to Cameroon is President Pobia leaving power, even handing over power to the next, maybe his assistant or the vice president, so that something can be done. If it is only him, I think we have listened to that. Zita, you know that I was born when President Pobia was already in power, and then today I'm already getting old, and he is still there, and he's still promising me that the best is still to come. I expected President Paul Biya to caution, because he said he's calling for unity, he's calling against hate speech and all that, but I expected him to call his collaborators to order, call some of his overzealous ministers, call some of these overzealous police and gendarme officers who shoot citizens carelessly to order. He never did that. That is to tell you that he cannot deliver the best, Zita. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Niba. All right, gentlemen, I think we have just like 2-3 minutes to get out of the studio. Rogers, John Niba is so bitter about the head of state promising him a better tomorrow when he was born with no better yesterday. He has not seen a better today, and he does not have any hope of a better tomorrow. Do you still believe in a better tomorrow for Cameroon? I mean, I, for one, I believe that tomorrow can be better for Cameroon.
Well, John Niba said it. Tomorrow can be better if the regime, the system changes. With the present head of state and the government is preparing to set up, I'm not expecting anything good for Cameroon. I've just accepted it like that. I'm not expecting, to tell you the truth, I'm not expecting anything good to come from him. I just know that for the next 7 years, I have been condemned again to continue being in the situation where I have been. We have just accepted it. But to tell me to start hoping, to dream that there will be a better tomorrow, it will be a nightmare for me. I don't want to put that kind of thing in my head.
Okay, Nathan, is there any hope for a better tomorrow?
Well, apparently, with our own bare human eyes, we can't really say that there is hope for tomorrow. But then I can only just assure you that if things go well, if the reshufflement that is going to be done brings in people who are capable to put things in place, and the legislative that is coming up brings in youth who are ready to build their country. Like for instance, I've seen a certain young lady down the Manu area who is going in for the Manu municipal by name Tambe Corazon. She's really doing a great job down there with a lot of publicity. She tried to encourage the people to contribute, to make boreholes, to have potable water and all the rest, and she's working hard for things like university to go down that way and many other things, good roads and all the rest to be established down there in the midst of an area that is suffering from crisis, political crisis. It's a great job and a great passion, I must admit. So I think that if we have people who are coming up, we have many youths who are going to go in for the legislatives, and they make their way without the regime in place, like we say in pidgin, train Sansan into their gari. Then we are going to hope for something better, because to be very sincere, my dear, life in the Anglophone zones is really expensive, really expensive. And I think that for the president to say that there will be a better tomorrow, it means that he should be putting mechanisms in place to reduce this insecurity that people are experiencing that way in that area. And I think that he should be ready to be able to ask for forgiveness, to not have really succeeded in solving this crisis that have been in this area for years, and trying to make the people to be assured that he's out for a dialogue, and he should really come out for the dialogue and bring things that is going to permit people to go back to their homes and start a real life, to be able to see how they can work things together.
Okay.
And if I say that I believe that things are going to be better, is because I trust in God. And I believe that at the end, in a nutshell, only God can make it possible, because humans' hearts are always twisted, no matter what we say. So I just believe that the prayers Cameroonians have been making have not been thrown. It's not like water that has been thrown on the decks, but then it's like perfume that has been going to the nostrils of God, and somehow, somewhere, God is going to create a way for Cameroonians.
Definitely, God will make a way for Cameroonians, because I am one of those who believe that Cameroon is one of God's favorite babies. So there is going to be a way out. So Davis Nathaniel, thank you very much for being a part of today's program.
Thank you, Zita.
And I want to say thank you to my paddy, Roger Sakemo. Thank you for coming.
Thank you to Zita.
Hopefully we'll have you gentlemen some other time. I don't want to be precise next week because I'm not too sure yet, but hopefully we'll have you gentlemen here. And I want to say thank you to Cotton Prince Will, who was also a part of the panel. He had to leave to attend another program, so thank you to you, Prince Will. I'm very sure you're listening to us on your way to your next program. Thank you to John Niba, who called us on phone all the way from Zamai, that's in the far north region of Cameroon. Thank you to Mama Vera, who also participated on phone. Thank you to Romuald Ekume, who took care of the technical board. Thank you to Brian Bida for our video editing, and Boris Tedongmo, of course. Thank you to Abel Bella Samari for production assistance. Thank you to Roger Kiek the Kiki, our station manager, who was there for central coordination. And thank you to the Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel for general supervision. My name is Mapala Zita. Hopefully we will be together again next week, same time, God willing. But programs continue over Royal FM, and up next is Baromètre Politique. Jean-Marie Anaba is here with me, political desk editor and editorialist here at Royal FM. Jean-Marie, good afternoon, happy new year, happy weekend.
Good afternoon, Mapalazita, happy new year to your guests and our listeners.
Baromètre Politique, what do we expect?
Oui, pour inaugurer la saison 2026 de Baromètre politique, nous avons essayé d'inviter les habitués et aussi ceux qui ne sont pas habitués du programme. Donc tout à l'heure, on reviendra effectivement sur l'année 2026 et les vœux de la classe politique. Une classe politique qui est engagée dans les élections municipales et législatives. Certains ont commencé à recruter ceux qui veulent être des candidats. Les investitures sont engagées. Mais au-delà de ces engagements-là dans les partis politiques, comment faire pour éviter les soubresauts? Comme ça a été le cas en 2025, et le président de la République l'a reconnu dans son dernier discours à la nation, que les 2 élections qui ont été organisées, c'était des élections réussies, malgré les soubresauts. Consolidation de notre système démocratique. Peut-on partager cet avis du président de la République? C'est ce que nous allons décréter dans le discours du chef de l'État, parce que vous savez que Baromètre politique, c'est un débat de chapelle et des acteurs politiques.
Ladies and gentlemen, Baromètre politique is up next. Stay on Royal FM.